This month on The Real Review, we're featuring the wines of the top wineries of New Zealand 2022. 3 of those wines are Chardonnays: Taiwanga Estate Quarter Acre Chardonnay 2020, The Landing Chardonnay 2020, and Black Barn Vineyards Barrel Fermented Chardonnay 2020. Hello and welcome. I'm Bob Campbell and this is The Real Review. Today I'm tasting 2020 Taiwanga Reserve Quarter Acre Chardonnay from Hawke's Bay. Taiwanga Estate is one of our top wineries in the Real Review top winery list of New Zealand for 2022. This is mostly from Docks Block near the sea at Moana, with just a little splash from Mangatahi and Teawhonga Vineyards. It's mostly from 20-year-old vines, which is starting to get good maturity in vine language. 2020 was a top vintage, long and dry, so they had the nature on their side when they pressed the grapes for this wine. Let's have a look and see what it tastes like. It's jumping out of the glass. It's good intensity on the nose, with sort of I don't know, I guess peach grapefruit, and a hint of mineral. Really mouth-filling, rich, weighty wine, and quite complex. There's little bits of layers of just green apple, touch of nectarine, oyster shell, a bit of ginger from these, and some roasted nut and spicy oak flavors. Quite a lot going on in this wine that makes it, for me anyway, particularly interesting, particularly good. And the food dish I would recommend for this is whitebait fritters, garnished with a squeeze of lemon. Absolutely the perfect match. Today I'm tasting 2020 The Landing Chardonnay from the Bay of Islands, from the beautiful Bay of Islands, I should say. The Landing is one of the Real Review's top wineries of New Zealand 2022. The vineyard area is about 10 hectares, which is it's reasonably big for Bay of Islands, but it's on a 400 hectare estate. It's called The Landing because that's the place where the earliest Maori and European settlers made landfall. The Landing planted Chardonnay and Syrah in 2007. They were the first varieties to go in, and then later they planted some more red varieties and some more Chardonnay as well. They're best known for Chardonnay, and it was first made in 2010, and they opened the winery for the 2019 vintage. Let's try the wine. Interesting, quite lush, quite sort of white peach and a little bit of nutty oak. Very smooth, silken textured wine, which is rather appealing. I'm getting grapefruit, citrus blossom, white peach, and a bit of oyster shell, touch of green apple there, and with some spicy oak. Perfectly balanced between the fruit and the alcohol. You get alcohol sweetness and the tangy acidity. It's quite a lively wine. I would describe that as a high energy wine, and a good now, but no rush to drink it. And the food dish that I would recommend is slow roasted crispy pork belly with apple sauce. And I can tell you, speak from experience when I recommend that. I had it just 3 nights ago. Today I'm tasting 2020 Black Barn Barrel Fermented Chardonnay. Black Barn is one of the Real Review's top wineries of New Zealand 2022. This is Black Barn's most awarded wines, according to the winemaker Dave. Grapes come from 4 vineyards from the Havelock Hills and Tuki area, all from unirrigated vines, which many people believe tend to produce a more concentrated, more complex wine. There's a mix of soil types, which adds complexity, and the best parcels are hand-picked and pressed before fermenting in French oak, 12% new, and fermenting using wild and cultured yeasts, a mix of wild and cultured yeast. Let's taste the wine and see what it's all about. It's quite interesting. I normally sort of classify Chardonnays into, tight and tangy and crisp and acidic, or rich and mellow and so on. But this seems to have a bit of both. It's got freshness and lovely tangy acidity with sort of oyster shell and green apple, but it's also got some richness and intensity of fruit. I'm getting apple, nectarine, lime, citrus, and there's some spicy oak flavors coming just to add a little extra nuance to the wine. It's really quite a mouth-tingling wine with a strong fruit focus, but good support from oak and nutty yeast lees characters. The food dish we recommend is barbecued crayfish with herby garlic butter. Now, I haven't put this to the test, but it sounds absolutely delicious. So go diving and get the perfect match with this wonderful, lovely, rich wine. Cheers. If you've enjoyed this, follow us and subscribe to The Real Review.